If a woman wants you, truly wants you, you'll know. If you're constantly guessing, second-guessing, or feeling like you're chasing someone who keeps moving the finish line, chances are you're not being courted, you're being strung along. Welcome back to the channel. If you've ever been in that weird gray zone where you're giving your time, your energy, maybe even your emotions, but you're not getting much back, you're not alone. A lot of guys end up stuck in a situationship they didn't sign up for. Not because they're clueless, but because they're hopeful. And sometimes, hope can blind you to reality. Let's call it what it is. Being strung along sucks. You feel used, confused, and at times, even embarrassed. The problem isn't just the woman doing it. The bigger issue is how long you stay in it, hoping things will change. This video isn't about hating on women or overanalyzing every little text. It's about spotting when someone isn't serious about you, but still keeps you close enough to benefit from your attention, your validation, or even your money, without ever giving you a real relationship in return. So today, we're breaking it down. We're going over 5 clear signs that a woman is stringing you along, plus what you can actually do about it. Because once you recognize the pattern, it's a lot easier to take control and walk away with your self-respect intact. You don't need games, you don't need breadcrumbs, and you definitely don't need to keep showing up for someone who isn't showing up for you. Let's get into the signs, so you can stop wasting time on the wrong woman and make space for the one who actually wants to be there. 1. She loves the attention, not you. Let's be honest, there's a difference between someone liking you and someone liking the way you make them feel. This is one of the clearest signs a woman is stringing you along. She's not genuinely interested in building something with you. She just enjoys the spotlight you put on her. You're always the first to text. You compliment her, check in on her, maybe even buy her little things or take her out, and she responds just enough to keep it going. She'll reply with a heart emoji, send a selfie, maybe even flirt a little. But when it comes time to meet up or take things deeper, suddenly she's busy, tired, or going through something. She's not investing in you. She's feeding off the attention. And she's not ready to let it go because your interest is boosting her ego. It makes her feel wanted, desirable, and important. And as long as you keep giving her that energy, she'll keep stringing you along without ever committing. Picture this. You've been talking to a woman for weeks. The conversations are flirty. She always responds, but never initiates. You ask to meet up, and she says, "Yes, let's plan something soon." But soon never comes. Then out of nowhere, she sends a late-night text or likes your old photo. It reels you right back in. Suddenly you're thinking, maybe she's actually into me. But nothing changes. This cycle is no accident. It's how she keeps the door open just enough for you to stay hopeful, but never enough for it to turn into anything real. She wants the attention, the validation, the reassurance, but she doesn't want you. If she did, you wouldn't be questioning it all the time. When a woman is truly interested, she'll show it. She'll initiate. She'll make time. She'll meet you halfway. If it always feels one-sided, it probably is. The hard truth? You're not her man, you're her fan. You're on the sidelines cheering her on, while she's out living her life, keeping you as a convenience. The moment the attention stops, she'll either disappear or try to pull you back in with just enough charm to keep you hanging. Don't confuse responsiveness with interest. Some people respond just enough to keep their options open. If you're the one doing all the reaching out, all the planning, and all the effort, while she just shows up when it suits her, it's time to take a step back. Your time and attention are valuable. Don't waste them on someone who's only here for the applause. 2. Plans always happen on her terms. One of the easiest ways to tell if a woman is stringing you along is by looking at how plans get made, or don't get made at all. If everything only happens when she wants it to, and you're just expected to fall in line, you're not in an equal dynamic, you're playing by her rules. Let's break it down. When a woman is genuinely interested, she'll work with you. She'll ask when you're free, suggest things to do, and try to make it happen even if her schedule is tight. That's what people do when they value each other's time. But when she's stringing you along, it's a completely different story. She only agrees to plans last minute, if at all. She flakes often or constantly forgets to follow up. She never locks anything in unless it's something she feels like doing right then. Your schedule doesn't matter. Your time isn't respected. And any effort you put in to organize something real, it's either brushed off or pushed aside. You'll notice she never compromises. If you suggest something on a certain day, she'll say she's busy, but won't offer an alternative. That's because she's not thinking about how to see you, she's thinking about how to manage you. She wants to keep you just close enough so you don't lose interest, but not close enough to actually invest in. This kind of behavior puts you in a constant state of waiting for her to say yes, waiting for her to make time, waiting for something to feel official, and over time, you end up lowering your standards just to get any piece of her attention. A real connection is mutual. It's a two-way street. You shouldn't be the only one checking in, following up, and working around her life while she treats you like a background option. If everything is always on her time, her schedule, her mood, it's not a relationship. It's a one-sided game. And here's the part a lot of guys miss. It's not about how busy she is. Everyone's busy. If she wanted to see you, she would. If she respected your effort, she'd meet you in the middle. If she was serious, she wouldn't keep you waiting. The more you bend to fit her terms, the more she sees you as someone who can be easily controlled. That's not attractive, and it's definitely not healthy. So pay attention to how plans get made. If you're always the one adjusting, rescheduling, or chasing time with her, ask yourself, is she really interested, or is she just keeping me on standby? 3. She keeps you close, but just out of reach. This one is subtle, but powerful. When a woman is stringing you along, she'll make sure you stay emotionally invested, but never actually give you what you're hoping for. She'll offer just enough interest to keep you around, but not enough to build anything real. You'll notice this kind of woman never fully pulls away. She won't ghost you or block you. Instead, she stays in your orbit. She replies to your messages, sometimes late, sometimes fast. She might flirt a little, ask how your day's going, even show curiosity about your life. But when it comes time to take a step forward, make it official, go on a real date, spend consistent time together, it never quite happens. She wants your energy, your attention, and your interest, but she doesn't want to give you the same thing in return. And she knows that if she completely disappears, you'll move on. So instead, she gives you just enough to keep your hopes alive. That's the trick. It's not a full no, but it's never a clear yes either. You're stuck in a space where you're not quite sure where you stand. Some days she's warm, some days she's cold. One moment she's hinting at something deeper, the next she's distant or non-committal. This emotional tug-of-war keeps you attached, hoping that maybe next week, next message, next call, things will finally move forward. But they don't. The real danger here is how easy it is to convince yourself that you're close to something meaningful. You start to overthink every interaction. You start reading between the lines, trying to decode what she really means. And that keeps you emotionally locked in, while she puts in minimal effort. Here's the truth. If someone keeps you in a space of confusion, it's not by accident. She knows she's not giving you a clear direction, but she also knows that if she cuts things off completely, she loses the benefits of your attention. So instead, she gives you just enough to keep you hoping. You're not crazy for being confused. The confusion is the point. If you were really her guy, there wouldn't be this much uncertainty. You wouldn't have to guess how she feels or what she wants. People who care about you make things easier, not harder. So when you notice that you're always almost getting somewhere with her, but never actually arriving, it's a sign. She's not building something with you. She's just keeping you close enough to stay useful, without ever making you feel secure. And the longer you stay in that in-between space, the more it chips away at your confidence and clarity. Don't settle for halfway. You deserve something solid, or nothing at all. 4. You're the backup, not the priority. One of the most frustrating signs you're being strung along is when you realize you're not actually a priority in her life. You're just a backup option. You're the guy she keeps on standby in case things don't work out with someone else, or when she's bored, lonely, or wants a little attention. Here's how it usually shows up. She's inconsistent. Some days she seems interested, other days she vanishes. She never truly invests in getting to know you on a deeper level. Conversations stay surface level, and you notice that she only reaches out when it's convenient for her, not because she genuinely wants to connect. If something better comes up, you're the one who gets pushed aside. And when she does give you attention, it often feels like a favor, not something she's excited about. It's not that she doesn't like you at all. You might be fun to talk to, easy to be around, or even a comfort zone. But that's not the same as being wanted. You're not her first choice. You're her safe choice. And the moment someone else catches her interest more, she disappears, or pulls back hard, until she needs you again. Being someone's backup never feels good, and deep down, you'll start to sense it. You'll notice that you're always waiting around for her to make a move. She rarely checks in unless you reach out first. She cancels plans, then pops back up a week later like nothing happened. And when you call her out, she brushes it off or shifts the blame. If you were truly important to her, she wouldn't treat your time like it's optional. She wouldn't be this casual with your effort. People prioritize what matters to them, and if you're not seeing that, it's because she's not giving it. The tough part is, being the backup still gives you just enough hope to hang on. You start telling yourself that maybe she's just busy, or maybe she's figuring things out. But the truth is, no one is too busy for someone they're genuinely excited about. If she wanted to prioritize you, she would. It's not your job to convince someone to make you a priority. That energy should already be there. If you have to chase it, question it, or fight for it, you're not the one she's really choosing. Being a backup slowly chips away at your confidence. You start accepting less, settling for scraps, and waiting around for someone who sees you as plan B. That's not respect, and it's definitely not a foundation for anything real. Recognize the pattern for what it is. You deserve to be with someone who sees your value clearly and treats you like you actually matter. 5. Affection comes only when she wants something. A big red flag that a woman is stringing you along is when her affection, flirting, compliments, physical touch, emotional openness, only shows up when it benefits her. It's not consistent. It's not mutual. It's calculated. One moment, she's distant, cold, or barely responding. Then suddenly, she's warm, flirty, and even a little sweet. But it doesn't last. It shows up only in specific moments, usually when she needs attention, a favor, emotional support, or when she feels insecure and wants a boost. It's the kind of affection that's used more like a tool than a connection. Let's say things between you have been quiet for a few days. No real conversation, no effort from her side. Then out of nowhere, she sends a cute message. "Hey you, I was thinking about you." You get pulled in again. She starts complimenting you, maybe even talks about how much she missed you. And just as you start thinking things are finally changing, she hits you with, "Can you do me a favor?" Or, "I was hoping you could help me with something." After she gets what she wants, your time, your help, your validation, she pulls back again. This pattern is emotionally draining. It's like you're being trained to chase affection, even though it's only ever given in small doses and always on her terms. And the worst part? It keeps you emotionally hooked. Every time she gives you that little spark of warmth, it reignites your interest and hope, even if the rest of the time she's distant or dismissive. Real affection is steady, not strategic. If a woman genuinely likes you, she doesn't flip the switch on and off depending on what she needs. She shows care and attention because she wants to, not because she's trying to get something. When affection is used like bait, it's manipulation. Even if it feels good in the moment, you'll start noticing how empty it feels afterward. You start craving the affection more than the actual person, because she's made it so rare and unpredictable. That's not connection, that's control. Watch her patterns. Does she only show interest when things benefit her? Does the warmth come right before she asks for something, or when she feels you pulling away? That's not love. That's leverage. You don't need to earn affection by constantly being useful or available. The right woman will give it freely because she's into you, not because she's trying to keep you on a leash. 6. You're stuck in talk, never action. Another clear sign you're being strung along is when everything between you feels like it lives in the world of talk, but never moves into action. She'll say a lot of the right things, but when it's time to actually show up, commit, or move forward, nothing happens. You might hear things like, "We should hang out soon," or "I do like you, I'm just figuring things out," or "Let's see where this goes." But weeks go by and nothing changes. No real plans are made. No effort is shown. You're left wondering when words are finally going to turn into something real. This kind of woman is great at saying just enough to keep you hopeful. She'll agree with your ideas, show some curiosity, maybe even say she sees potential. But when it's time to actually follow through, make time for you, take the relationship seriously, or put in effort, she disappears or stalls. It's a cycle of empty promises and repeated conversations that go nowhere. And the longer it goes on, the more confusing it gets. You start second-guessing yourself. You think, she said she likes me, she said she wants to hang out, so why isn't it happening? And that's exactly where she wants you, stuck in a state of emotional waiting. When someone truly wants something with you, they make it happen. It doesn't stay in vague conversations or hypothetical situations. They take initiative. They lock in plans. They follow up. It doesn't have to be complicated or overly serious, but it does have to be consistent. If she's always giving you talk, but never action, it means she wants the benefits of a connection without the responsibility of building one. And when you bring it up, she'll likely deflect. She might say she's confused, busy, not ready, or figuring herself out. Those excuses might sound valid, but if they go on forever, it's just a polite way of keeping you in limbo. You can't build anything with someone who lives in delay mode. If everything is later, someday, or soon, that's not momentum. It's avoidance. You deserve someone who turns intentions into action, not someone who strings you along with words that never mean anything. Stop focusing on what she says and pay attention to what she does. If her actions aren't lining up with her words, that's your answer. Don't wait around for someone to act like they mean it. If they did, they already would have. 7. How to end it without begging or drama. Once you realize you're being strung along, the next step is simple, but not always easy. You have to end it. Not with a dramatic speech, not by lashing out, and definitely not by begging for answers. You walk away calmly, directly, and with self-respect. Here's the thing most men need to understand. You don't need permission to leave a situation that isn't working for you. You don't have to wait until she admits she's been playing games. You don't need closure wrapped in a perfect explanation. If you're constantly confused, disrespected, or undervalued, that's all the clarity you need. Now, here's where the constructive part comes in. A lot of guys stay too long in these situations because deep down, they're afraid to walk away. Maybe it's fear of being alone. Maybe it's the hope that she'll finally see your worth. Or maybe it's pride, wanting to prove you can win her over. But that mindset keeps you stuck. And the longer you stay, the more it drains your confidence. You have to start asking yourself, what am I really getting out of this? Am I being respected? Am I growing? Is this adding value to my life? If the answer is no, it's time to stop chasing potential and start protecting your peace. So how do you end it without turning it into a mess? Keep it short and direct. You don't need a long message. You don't need to vent your frustration. You can say something as simple as, "Hey, I don't think we're on the same page. I'm looking for something more real, and this just doesn't feel right anymore. Wishing you the best." That's it. No games, no guilt, no dramatic exit, just maturity. And then, actually leave. Don't check in just to see how she's doing. Don't stalk her social media. Don't hang around hoping she'll chase you. Cut the cord. The moment you stop responding to crumbs is the moment you start building your self-worth back up. One last thing. Use this experience as a wake-up call. Ask yourself why you tolerated it for as long as you did. What kept you holding on? That reflection isn't about beating yourself up. It's about learning, so you don't repeat the pattern. Because the more you raise your standards, the less likely you are to fall for half-hearted effort again. Walking away isn't weakness. It's power. It shows you know what you bring to the table, and you're not afraid to stand up for it. So if you've been strung along, it's time to stop waiting, stop hoping, and start choosing yourself. If you've made it this far, here's what matters most. You don't need to stay in a situation where you feel like you're always chasing, guessing, or waiting for someone to treat you right. Relationships, real ones, should bring clarity, not confusion. If you're constantly questioning where you stand, you're not in a relationship. You're in a cycle. And here's the hard truth. Sometimes, the biggest reason you're being strung along is because you're letting it happen. That's not meant to put you down, it's meant to wake you up. The moment you stop accepting half effort is the moment things start to change. You don't need to play games, prove your worth, or wait around hoping she'll come around. Your time, energy, and attention are valuable. Give them to someone who respects that. If any of this hit home, I want to hear from you. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Share what you've dealt with, what you noticed, what you learned, what finally made you walk away. I'll be reading and replying, because this is the kind of conversation we don't have enough. You're not alone in this, and you're not crazy for wanting something real. The more we talk about it, the clearer it gets for everyone. I appreciate you watching. Take care of yourself, trust your gut, and don't settle for being someone's maybe.